Welcome back to the channel. Thank you for clicking on the video. This is another review for Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 13, episode 16, Hurricane Housewives. So we see Drew. She is, out and about without the rest of the ladies. We see her going into this kitchen. And when she gets there, she is just so excited to see whoever is on the other side of the door. We don't see, but it's obvious that she has a surprise for the ladies. The rest of the ladies, we see them back at the hotel getting onto the bus. While on the way, they FaceTime Drew. I'm ready. I'm just setting up. We'll be ready when you guys get here. Can't wait for you guys to get here to see my little surprise. Hurry up and get here. Porsha on the bus, she says to Marlo, Marlo, I thought that I was exhausted and I was tired from my conversation, but I feel like it was that dance class. And Marlo, she agrees. I was exhausted too by the conversation. She went to the dance class, but Marlo is saying that her back hurts, due to one of her nephews jumping on her back. But I believe something else is about to, be exposed in relation to Marlo and this back injury and, what it really is stemming from. We'll get there when we get there. But Cynthia chimes in and she's like, well, why would your conversation be exhausting? Like, what was that about? And Porsha says, well, we just had to get some things, squared away. We had to tie up some loose ends. Nothing major. So she's evasive, but why would you bring that up in front of the rest of the girls thinking, like you should know that somebody's going to want to know details. What were y'all talking about? Why was your conversation so exhausting? Like, what was the extent of this conversation to make it so tiresome? So Porsha probably shouldn't have said that, like out in front of everybody. If anything, wait until there's an opportunity for you and Marlo to be talking one-on-one. And then you say, you know what, girl, I thought I was tired from our talk, but I'm tired from that dance class. But you're going to say it on the bus in front of everybody. Now, of course, people got questions. And I'm saying that to say it doesn't help it doesn't help put a pin on the situation. It just makes people want to talk about what happened in South Carolina. It just makes people want to address things further. When they get there, everybody's a little disappointed because they had a kitchen. And, it's like, well, what we about to do? I know I ain't get dressed up to cook. So what are these plans? And coming behind the corner is Big Frida. And so, woo, yay, Big Frida. Everybody's so excited to see Big Frida. Big Frida is the queen of bounce, baby. You already know. We love Big Frida. So everybody's excited to see Big Frida. Big Frida says she gonna teach them how to make some booty popping potatoes and with a little twerk on the side. So we here for that. Everybody's fine, okay, go get me my little apron. Okay, I'll take the shells off the shrimp. Porsha says she gonna do that. Then we got some people over there making margaritas. Then we got somebody peeling potatoes. The ingredients are potatoes, shrimp, sausage, onions, peppers, that sort of thing. Everything I love. So I'm definitely gonna be trying to make the booty popping potato, on my own time. They're about to sit down and eat, and some of the other ladies go in there and they go and sit down. Kandi, Kenya, and Marlo stay back, to plate their food or whatever. And of course they got to bring up, okay, so what y'all was really talking about? That's Kandi. Kandi want to know, what was the conversation between you and Porsha? What was that about? And Marlo is just like, well, Porsha feels like I've been acting different since I started hanging out with Kenya. And, she's just telling me I need to be careful. And Kenya's like, be careful of who, me? Now, what does she got to do with that? And Marlo is just like, well, I just flat out asked her, if she slept with Bolo, and she told me no. So, Kenya, the answer is no. And Kenya said, that's a lie. Candy's just standing there like, well, I guess that's her answer. And she's sticking to it, like Candy's not going to confirm or deny what Porsha is saying. She's staying out of it, which is what Kenya should do. It's really not this serious. It's really nobody's business, you know, who she decides to have sex with. I'm really flabbergasted that we are still talking about this. She's still trying to get to the truth. Girl, please. We already know the truth. There's no need for her to give you guys any truth because it's none of your business. It's none of your business who she decides to let pull her panties to the slide and slide through. It's nobody's business but Porsha's. I'm trying to figure out why we care, you know, what her body count is, why we care, you know, how many miles she putting on her, like, we don't care. We don't care. Kandi, you know, she pleads the fifth, and, you know, Kenya says, well, I know what I heard, and I know some other people heard what I heard, and if, you know, y'all, it's not fair that they're making her out to be the villain when she's just telling the truth. And again, it ain't about telling the truth, because it's nobody's business. Like, there shouldn't be any truth to be told, because it's nobody's business. Anyway, in Marlo's confessional, she says, you know, she can't be friends with somebody that would lie to her. And it's like, girl, Marlo, you already knew the answer to that. Like, you want that girl to just out and say, yes, I did it. Yes, me and Tanya both did X, Y, and Z. Or at least you want Porsha to own her part. Why? It's nobody's business. Anyway, they sit down, and Big Frida blesses the food, and they can't even get the first bite before Marlo is like, Big Frida, can I ask you a question? What if you had a friend, you know, this friend, you guys hated each other, like, I mean, you were bitter towards one another, like screaming and yelling and always mad at one another, like this person, like you hate it. Well, I wouldn't say hate, but you really dislike this person. And then there's this other person who you've been friends with for a long time, you know, like way longer than this other person who I've just rekindled with. This person is saying something about that one, and that one is saying something about this one, and you're in the middle. Like, what do you do in a situation like that? And everybody looking around like, nah, I know she ain't talking about Porsha and Kenya. Because why you bringing Big Frida in this? And, you know, Big Frida gives her opinion on it all. And so it's still awkward, you know, she's still trying to talk in hypotheticals, and Porsha just chimes in. She's like, you know what? So you talking about me? Like, you and I just had this conversation. What you doing? Why are we bringing this back up? Why are you trying to make it seem like you and I don't have an understanding? We just had this conversation. So what's going on? And, you know, Marlo still feels like Porsha's not being honest. And she doesn't like that she's being lied to by one of her friends, this, that, and the third. And Kenya jumps in and she's like, I didn't accuse anybody of anything. Yes, you did. And that's what you've been doing. It's like, when it comes to Kenya and Porsha, around everybody else, it's, oh, she did it. Oh, that's what she did. She was the one. It was her. And then in Porsha's face, when they're all sitting around, like she did, you know, at the dinner in South Carolina and here at this dinner, it's, well, I didn't accuse anybody of anything. I didn't say any names, you know. I didn't outright say it was Porsha at all. I never said it was Porsha. Girl, you don't have to say it. You always allude to it when she's sitting in your face. And so we're not going to play that game no more. We're not playing that game no more. Porsha has had it. This is awkward. And I'm not going to sit here and be uncomfortable because I ain't really got to sit at the table. You know, like, I can leave. So what we not going to do is talk around me like I'm not sitting here and talking hypotheticals and bring all of this mess to the table like you and I we didn't have a conversation and we just squashed it. I'm not understanding. Marlo, you know, she's saying that they both have talked about one another and they put her in the middle. And it's like, nobody put you in the middle, girl. Kandi, she chimes in and Candy's like, can I say something? What you talking about don't even, you know, it has nothing to do with you. So why you even talking about it? Marlo, again, well, they talk about each other, you know, with me, and, you know, I'm just in the middle. No, you are inserting yourself because you don't have to be in the middle. That's the role you were playing at first. You know, at first, Marlo, you know, was on the, you know, she's on the fence. She's on the Kandi, you know, on the I plead the fifth. She didn't give any, you know, insight into what she heard, if she heard anything or not, what she heard. She didn't do that. When they were in South Carolina, Marlo pretty much, you know, stayed neutral. And now you friends with Kenya, and now it's, well, did you do it? Did you do that? Did you have sex with Bolo? Girl, save it. She gets up. Marlo gets up because she feel like everybody being fake. Y'all can finish your little fake ass dinner. You a bunch of fake mother. So I'm out. And she gets up to leave. And of course, everybody's like, no, Marlo, why are you leaving? Don't leave. She leaves and goes to the wrong door. Bloop, that's a goop. Then she goes to another door. Bloop, that's another goop. Just all wrong. And I know that's embarrassing. You trying to storm out and make your grand exit, and you keep going to the wrong door. Ooh, that's a goop. Anyway, they go outside with Marlo, and Latoya, Drew, and Kenya, they go outside and they're talking to Marlo, and Porsha, Cynthia, and Kandi are at the table talking. And Marlo is upset about Porsha lying to her. If they're going to be friends, you can't be lying to me, blah, 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 blah. She says she would have rolled for her if she would have just told her the truth. But friend, I don't owe you that. As a friend, you take the stance, okay, my friend more than likely did this, but I'm going to ride for my friend and keep with, you know, I'm going to keep up with, it ain't my business. I ain't saying nothing. I'm not going to confirm or deny anything as it relates to Porsha and her vagina. And who she allows inside of it. I'm not speaking on it because that's my friend. I don't need for you as my friend to tell me, girl, yeah, I did it. Because I know you did it. You know, we see each other because you friends with her. But somebody that's just trying to be underhanded and, you know, straddle the fence and, you know, play into what Kenya has going on. That's why you want answers and you feel like you deserve the truth. Whatever, girl. Kenya comes back to the table and she explains, you know, well, Marlo's upset with Porsha because of and Portia's like, wait, girl, keep my name out your mouth. Don't say my name. Do not say my name. Don't say my name. And I understand exactly where she was coming from with that because I don't even like you. And we already bickering right now because of you. So don't come in here explaining the situation like we cool. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not doing nothing but adding more fuel to the fire because you ain't the right person. You ain't the right messenger for whatever Marlo had to say because you're involved. Like, had it been Drew coming back to say, well, she's upset about Porsha, da-da-da-da-da. It would have been she would have been receptive to that. But it's you, Kenya. So it's just like, no, you keep my name out your mouth, okay? And in the confessional, Kenya's like, Porsha, Marsha. Okay, girl. You didn't do that sitting at that table. You sat there real cute, calm, and collected because you know what a good ass whooping feel like. And so you did what you were supposed to do, Kenya. Sit there quietly and you just take whatever Porsha gives because you don't want to get dragged again. Okay? I'm sure you don't. Kandi, you know, she asked, okay, well, what's the difference? What difference would it make if these people did have sex with Bolo? What difference would it make? And, you know, everybody's like, well, I mean, nothing really. That ain't gonna make no difference in my life. And, you know, Portia's like, okay, so why are we, no, Shamia says, okay, so why are we still talking about it? Kenya, well, y'all, we're talking about it because we're all talking about it. And we all know that had it been me, everybody would still be dragging it out. And it's like, girl, we want you to go get some. We want that so that you can stop being so bitter. You know, get you a little pain in your life and you might not be so bitter because it's just permeating. You know, like she's miserable and she's just trying to drag everybody down in her misery. In my opinion, she's pressed that it wasn't her that got the chance to sleep with Bolo. I mean, because at the party, she over here laying it low and spreading it wide on ottomans. You know, she hollering out to Bolo, let somebody else play with that thing. Like, girl, we ain't forgot that you was, you know, front and center, just like Porsha. It's just that Porsha was the one that went all the way. Are you mad that it wasn't you? Because had it been Kenya, we really wouldn't be dragging this out. Because it's not a judgment thing. Nobody would have judged you, girl. We would have all wanted details, you know? So, you really done with Mark. Kudos to you, sis. That's what we would have said. There wouldn't have been no judgment, Kenya. You are, again, living in a hypothetical situation and acting on it. Like, oh, so they would treat me some way, so I gotta treat her this way. No. No. That's not how any of this works. Porsha, you know, she's just like, okay, okay, Kenya, yeah. I did it. I slept with Bolo. I slept with the dude that made the pig too, that made that smoked the pig. I slept with him too. It was good too, girl. Ooh, real good. It was loud and just, you know, that thing was good. Oh yeah, Kandi, I should have went over there and called you in the room, Kandi. You know, she chimes in. She's in on the joke. And Kenya, of course, is over there looking cheap. You know, she's trying to go back and forth like it's all one big joke. But no, girl. No. She didn't get the reaction out of Porsha that she had hoped for, I'm sure. Because Porsha flipped it on her. And Porsha, you know, played the I'm unbothered card. And it's okay, girl, well, if this is what you want to hear, let me just go on and give you what you want to hear. Yeah, I did it. Okay, now what, bitch? Now what? What's next? And Kenya's like, don't call me out my name. Bitch. That made me think of, what's the girl named? Shamari. When Shamari and Marlo were going at it, that, you know, the season, I don't even remember what season Shamari DeVoe was on, but when she was on there and she and Marlo were at the table going back and forth and she called Marlo a bitch and Marlo was like, call me another one. Shamari said, bitch. Your mama the bitch. Anyway, people really be thinking you won't repeat it just because they like, don't call me no bitch. Bitch. Like, what's gonna happen to me if I say it? Anyway, they have that back and forth, Kenya and Porsha. You know how it goes. More of the same. Kandi's like, well, is there gonna be some resolve? Like, cause what are we doing? And Kenya has the nerve to say, being childish. Yeah, you are. You are. Not y'all are. You are. Anyway, Kenya talking about this ruined interpersonal relationships and, you know, it's just, girl, really? It's that deep? Anyway, that night, Kandi, you know, she wants to talk to Marlo, so she calls and Marlo goes to her room and Marlo tells Kandi, you know, she just doesn't want to be friends with a liar. Kandi is like, you just want an admission, like she gave you an answer. And that's the answer you got. You just want her to admit something. And she ain't about to do that. And now it's like on one hand, Kandi is like, you know, riding for Porsha and in not exposing her. But then again, on the flip side, she confirms, you know, without confirming that Porsha, you know, has been known to lie. So it's like, you're right to not trust her. Like, Kandi, what's your angle, girl? Stick to the I plead the fifth, you know, like don't be getting sucked in. The next day, Hurricane Zeta is upon them, and so, you know, we see the weather report on that. You know, the ladies are getting up to this bad weather. Toya, she goes to Kenya's room, and then we see Drew. She also sits down with Cynthia. Toya tells Kenya that Porsha left and she knows this because she ran into Kandi, who also left. She ran into Kandi on her way out, and Kandi is the one that told her that Porsha left as well. And Kenya and Latoya just have a good old laugh about the fact that Porsha left Shamia. Like Shamia is just some, damsel in distress. Like, they don't have to be there together. Shamia's grown. If she wanted to leave, she could have left. Like, Kandi's her friend as well, which is probably why she stayed, because she's also friends with Kandi. So, yeah, I didn't get that. They really, that was unnecessary. But they, like, Kenya she got a good key about it. Ooh, that girl's something else. They try to paint the picture that Porsha mistreats Shamia and that, she's a sucky friend when it comes to her. Whatever. Drew is sitting down with Cynthia, telling her the same thing. She called Porsha that morning and Porsha didn't answer the phone, so she called Shamia and Shamia confirmed Porsha is out of the building. Marlo, she shows up to Cynthia's room. Kenya's already there. And, Kenya wants to know, well, what was up with you last night? Like, I ain't never seen you act like that before. Marlo blames it on the Patron. She apologizes about it. She says she was just frustrated. Frustrated. I really can't stand when people do that. Like, you just gonna completely disregard the R after the F? Frustrated. It ain't frustrated. It ain't frustrated. The word is excuse me, now I can't even say it. See, y'all got me not being able to say it. It's frustrated, not frustrated. Anyway, she says she frustrated because she kept being asked about Porsha, and although they were only talking about their conversation, her response had to go back to what happened in South Carolina. It didn't, but that's what she going with. Kenya's like, you know what? Listen, here's where I'm at with it. I don't even care. Girl, if you don't care, then why are we continuously talking about it? Since you don't care. Anyway, she said, it's pulling everybody down the rabbit hole with Porsha. No, you have dragged everybody down the rabbit hole because you can't let it go. She's really making it seem like everybody else is bringing it up, and when it's brought up, she's just the only one telling the truth. No, you are the one the very next day coming down them stairs trying to figure it all out, having bolo court and all of that. It's been you, Kenya. It's been you. They like, wait a minute, never mind, where's the food? They call Drew, and Drew says the food is in her room, so Kenya and Cynthia go, they head out to go get the food. Then we see the power going out. The hurricane is, already happening right outside. And so the power is out. You see the ambulance, the fire trucks, the police, everybody need to take cover. Back in Atlanta, we also see they're packing up and all of that. They leave. They have to pack up in the dark. They don't ever regain power. That's the end of the trip. Back in Atlanta, Drew, we see her in the hot tub with Ralph, and, they talk about the trip. Then we see Kandi. She's on set, and she goes to Clifton Powell's trailer. He wanted to talk to her. He gives her a few tips and pointers on how she should move on set. She says, it's an honor to work with you, blah, blah, blah. Then we see Kenya and her cousin Shay. They sitting around, and we see that Biden has won Michigan. Woo! Yay! This has already happened. I can't even really get up the excitement because I lived it. Biden won Michigan. She asked about Georgia, but we don't know about Georgia just yet. Cynthia, we see that she's also watching the numbers come in, and Porsha drops by. They're excited about the Biden-Harris ticket and the win and all of that. Georgia was, not out of the woods yet. We still had to vote again for Ossoff and Warnock, and we did, and they got in, and so we good. But Porsha came over there because Cynthia wanted to, use her platform to do a little public service announcement to get everybody out to vote, for this second time in Georgia. So they did that. It took them 50-11 times, 50-11 takes, but after, a long, back and forth, they finally got it right. While they're sitting there, we got to talk about the trip again. Porsha says she feel good about leaving. She says, I feel like I'm over here showing how much I've grown. You know, that's growth for me, to remove myself from the situation, to see that this ain't gonna be good and this ain't gonna be, you know, conducive to my growth. So I'm just gonna leave. And so that's what she does. She just leaves. Marlo telling her, I mean, not Marlo, Cynthia trying to tell her, you know, Marlo's in pain. Girl, miss me with that. She's like, if I hear about one more person in pain, inflicting pain on me, we gonna have a problem. Because it ain't no excuse, Cynthia. Don't excuse Marlo's behavior by saying, oh, she's in pain. Everybody got something they dealing with. That doesn't mean you go around and treat people however you treat them. Just because, oh, she's in pain. No, we don't want to hear that. Kandi calls them, and you know, she's making sure that they're gonna come out to her tasting that she's having at Blaze. I've never been yet. You know, I got to try to, and this probably ain't gonna never happen. I was finna say, until the popularity dies down and people ain't, you know, flooding the place. I'ma wait for that, but that probably ain't gonna never happen, because I feel like OLG that's always been the going experience for people, a long wait time, and I can't do long wait times. And so if Blaze if that's what they giving over there, I just ain't gonna be able to try it. Listen, Atlanta got plenty of places to eat at. Plenty. I've been living here my whole life, and I've not explored it all. So there are other steakhouses. But I do want to try Blaze. I do want to try it. Everybody is going to go. So we're at the tasting, and everybody comes. We see Mama Joyce and the OLG gang, you know. I think her cousin, Winky? Winky. I think she say Winky. I think it's Winky. But anyway, her cousin is there, you know, so she has family there. All of the ladies come. When Marlo comes, she come in. Hi, guys. Oh, my goodness. Hey, everybody. Hey, P. Oh, now I'm P. Okay, girl. Porsha's like, I ain't about to do this with Marlo. Like, just yesterday, we were beefing. And today, now it's, oh, hi, girl. How are ya? Porsha says she's not doing it tonight. And it's to be continued. That's where we end out at. Like I said, Marlo got some mess with her, you know, that's about to come up. But, you know, allegedly, she had liposuction before the trip. And that is the reason why she was, you know, out of commission. Not this story about one of the boys jumping on her back. If you get lipo, okay. That's I don't get that about the women on Real Housewives of Atlanta. Or anybody in general who gets plastic surgery and then gets on reality TV and then they're called out about it. And when asked about it, it's some evasive answer or a lie. If you did it, you did it. Like, what you ashamed of? If I had work done, I'd be like, yes, I got my breasts lift. Don't they look good? Got this Brazilian butt lift. They did that. Like, what you ashamed of? You did it, paid for it, money well spent. Show it off. Anyway, that's where it ends out. So you guys be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It's Call Me Busby, and I'll chat with you later. Peace and light.